Welcome to the podcasting event of the year, hosted by Alterbrap, Joshua Vincent Perella, and AJ Howard. This is Artistic Integrity.
Hey everybody, welcome back to a very special episode of the Artistic Integrity Podcast. The podcast where we just start taking meth heads, homeless people, and Batman, and we just throw them all into one podcast. Today we have our very special guest, MarvelDCFan. You know, known him for a long time, done videos with him. There he is. He's next to me. And then I got the other people. We don't fucking care about them. Anyways, you guys know him. Speaking of our podcast. I just want to
say I am still in Ezra Miller's house.
And
can I turn the lights on, Ezra? Yeah, go ahead. Oh, thank God.
Bro, you have a guitar. Well, I have freedom. That's kind of crazy. Wait, AJ, what pill did you just take?
Undisclosed.
Sir, that looked like
it's prescribed.
Sir, that was a perk 30 that you just took and swallowed. Sir, that was a Percocet.
But the people didn't see.
Dude, he is sweating. Oh my God. Papa Molly, I'm sweating. All right. I think we're done with this intro. It's already a bad start. I'm sorry, Mr. Shut up. Stop with your coughing, with your overdosing over there. I'm trying to do an intro. It's a great way to have our first guest on, and just one of us is overdosing and the other one of us is kidnapped.
He's just dying.
Yeah, one's ODing and the other one's kidnapped right now.
Soon enough, you might need another co-host to replace him.
Yeah, when he ODs, I'll have you on. But until then, I figured, because artistic integrity was all about, the integrity of artists of all kind, including content creators. So I wanted to, get someone that we're really friends with to kind of test the waters when it comes to our Q&A style of content that we wanted to do for the podcast. I can't take anything serious with seeing him on the fucking corner just dying. Josh, are you awake? All right.
I like the thumbs up.
This is the best podcast we've done. All right. So I'm gonna get into my questions first, and then we'll start going to other people. Unless, hold on, how many questions do you have, AJ? How many do you have that you want to ask? We'll go with who has the shortest amount first.
I have enough, but I also have more.
I think he asked for a number.
Yeah, I asked for a number. He's so high. He's like, bro, what is a number, bro? Like, if you really think about it,
enough is not a number.
Yeah,
whatever.
I'm saying
I'm just gonna do. I have mine written down, so I'm just gonna go with it. We're just gonna do mine, and then we'll move on, unless the Zoom meeting is almost over, which it probably already is. So when it comes to my first question, Mr. MarvelDCFan,
yes.
So my first question I wanted to ask you are, what are some of your early experiences with the platform of YouTube when it comes to, watching content and before, working on content? Josh is talking to Ezra Miller right now. That's why he's muted.
Yeah, that's why. When it comes to like the
dude, he is
platform,
down in that bottom. My fault.
Jesus,
dude. Oh my God.
Just can't get enough of it. When it comes to the platform in the early years, like I was on YouTube back like 2007, 2008, and I watched pretty much everything, all the big hitters that came in, AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, the back then when AMVs were the talk of the town, all the old YouTube trends. Like, bro, I was there for a good majority of it.
I remember like watching like the Naruto and like the Batman like animated stuff
Yeah.
like with like Linkin Park and 3 Days Grace and all that, bro.
Oh man. Man, it just takes me back. I just watched recently, it just popped up on my feed again. It was the Gotham Knight anime movie
Mhm.
with Pain by 3 Days
Oh my
Grace.
bro, I used to watch that one so much, bro. I used to
Yeah.
watch that one. There was one. It was the Dark Knight Returns films, but it had
Yeah.
Hero by Skillet.
Yeah.
I used to watch that one a lot as well.
That song is eternal.
Yeah.
Bro, every
But yeah,
early Skillet
like
song is eternal.
Mhm.
Skillet is the bomb. But yeah, stuff like that was like stuff that I really got into because I loved comic books and all kinds of things. I just kind of obsessed with watching whatever I could on the internet. So a lot of Batman was watched, a lot of Spider-Man, and then like I said, as far as personalities, AVGN, like top tier childhood, even though like I had to watch it when nobody was around because of how much the colorful language that this man
Oh yeah.
has.
Oh, I was the
So
same way.
Hey, that's how you grow up, you know?
yeah,
He just
When
dissed
you
his
start
parents.
watching stuff.
make sure they weren't anywhere near the
Yeah.
computer.
He's like looking around like,
So
are they here? Are they here? Fuck. All right. Uh, so who would you say like, at this time, like early YouTube before you started making content, who would you say is like your go-to when it comes to the comic book content? Because obviously you said you watch AVGN, Nostalgia Critic, all of them when it came to like the critiquing, but when it came to the comic book content, I feel like early YouTube didn't have as much of it as we see now, where there's like a new comic book YouTuber every other week that
yes,
blows up.
as far as like 2008, there really wasn't a whole lot back in like before 2010, 2011 even. But I think when it came to comic book specific creators, you had Variant, you had Comic Story and Comic Book Cast when they weren't shit. Um,
Do they even
it
have
was
that
just
podcast for that anymore, or is it just like
maybe
it's
I've
the second channel that Homeboy does like the news on? And he just
yeah,
clickbait to death.
I don't I don't pay attention to Comic Book Cast anymore, but
I still have like his notifications on, so I'll still every now and then just be like, oh, he uploaded, cool, then just get rid of the notifications, just keep going on.
yeah. But yeah, I think like Comic Historian was definitely, as far as like one of my personal favorites. Him and Comics Explained were kind of just like the big two in my
Yeah,
eyes. Even though I love Variant
I grew
as
up on
far
Variant,
content.
bro. As much as I don't
Yeah,
really agree with a lot of his opinions now, like he was the creator back then when it came to comic books.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
I also used to
I
watch a
I
lot of the
watched
real
I
comic book
watched a
gamer as
lot of
well,
that
like his
too.
Arkham Knight and Arkham City and
Mm-hmm.
Origins mods and all
Yeah.
that. Those take me back a lot
mhm,
as well. Even his newer
that was
content, like I
great.
really
Yeah,
like the videos that he does, where he just like kind of like podcast style, talking about like the comic books while he plays like Arkham. Like that stuff's pretty cool too. But
even somebody like Slick 'em Off and like Salvage, like but like 2015, 2016 type era, like
mhm.
I was watching them a bunch. And um I think as far as like when it came to actual inspirations for me to do what I do now, it's like Godzilla Mendoza, like such
Mhm.
a talented individual. Um yeah, all of his videos were just, you know, fantastic to me. And I think that like him is what really kickstarted me to do content. So,
Yeah.
and
Which is funny because my next question was gonna be, who are some of your biggest inspirations when it came to making both the Let's Plays and the reviews? I guess reviews would be like Godzilla Mendoza, but when it came to like the Let's Plays, who really wanted you to start doing the Let's Plays?
as far as Let's Plays go, Two Best Friends was a really big inspiration for me. They're not really a group anymore, but they had their own channel. They were teamed up with Machinima doing videos every week. Like they were such a fun group together. And um, other content like Some Call Me Johnny, a lot of people don't really talk about, but he's, as far as video games go, is one of my big inspirations. And even just through the structure of my videos, if you watch back to back, you can kind of see that inspiration. But I think those three are probably what got me to actually commit to starting a YouTube channel. And yeah, it's been really fun since.
Now, when it came to like starting like podcasts and stuff, who would you say would be the reason that you wanted to start doing a bunch of podcasts? Because even like early on in your YouTube career, you've always been doing like podcasts with people. So where did that
Yeah.
inspiration come from?
Well, the inspiration for that was due to a podcast that I was already on. I haven't talked to the creator in a long time, but he had me on as a co-host for his podcast, and every week would be talking about whatever random news of the week there was. It would be maybe a certain topic, like if E3 just happened, going over all the announcements and whatnot. And it was pretty good for like at least 2 years or so. Like 2018 is when, I just kind of drifted off from them.
Hmm.
And then 2019 is when I kind of got the idea to start my own podcast. It was like very early in its infancy. It wasn't like it was in 2020, but I did start it. I kind of stopped because I didn't really like being on my own. It was
Hmm.
just kind of dull, and it wasn't really fun. So when I got the idea to do it again for 2020 as part of my new review channel, I was just like, okay, maybe I should get, somebody to do it with me, or even just a guest per week or something, like just figuring it out as I went along. And I got extremely lucky because I found you guys, and we've been just kind of piloting that channel ever since then.
We've ran that into
So
the ground. There's
pretty
more. There's
much.
more that to that podcast than there are videos on my channel.
And then you've been second guessing it ever since you added alt crap to the podcast.
Well, you guys were. I've been,
Yeah, I
just
remember
kind of
he.
keeping them on
Remember
because
he added me. He added me. I watched the video where they announced me as a co-host, and literally since day one, AG's been like, "Oh God, not him."
I love that moment. It's probably one of my favorite moments we've ever done on that podcast, was just
It's like they knew
bringing
I
you
was
on and him
coming.
just being like,
They knew what
well,
they
the
knew what was
funny
gonna
thing is
happen.
they didn't,
The
because I didn't
Antichrist.
tell them. I was just like, man, maybe we should add a new co-host. It'd be really fun if I didn't tell them and let them find out till the Q&A video. And the reaction was more than perfect, especially from Mr.
Wait,
AJ here.
so like you guys like, hold on, because I don't even know the backstory behind this. So you guys pretty much like you told them you were gonna add a new co-host. They didn't know who the co-host was, and then I just randomly showed up in the Discord call or the Zoom
Basically
meeting,
what
whatever it
happened
was.
was basically what happened was is that I needed questions for the Q&A, and we only had like maybe 10 questions at a certain date or whatever. So I was just like, well, maybe I'll come up with my own questions under fake profiles, just to, because we were going to do 25 the
Hmm.
episode, 25 questions in all. And I was just like, okay. I was thinking about adding a new co-host. I knew that you were probably the top choice for that. And I was like, well, maybe
Top
if I put
choice.
it under a
Who's
question,
voting?
well, uh,
Fair enough.
me, I guess. But so I put a fake question in. It was basically like, are you thinking of adding a co-host in the future or something like that? I was just like, okay, so I have the question ready. I'm gonna put it in the episode, and I'm gonna not tell them, just for like genuine shock. And I mean, if you want to link that particular episode, you can, but it is fantastic at that moment. So
That's great. Um,
yeah.
so just going down my list of questions, what are some of like your early like success stories, I guess you would call it, when it comes to uploading content on YouTube? Like the first time you hit a certain milestone or goal on either your Let's Play channel or your review channel, or even on the Speaking Nerd podcast. Like, how did that ever like motivate you to keep going? Like, what like I don't know how to ask questions. My fault.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
you know what I'm trying to get at. Like, why? Like,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah. Answer the question, please.
as as far as back then, because I only had one channel. It
Mm-hmm.
was the X99 channel, which is now the Let's Play channel, just as itself. And I think, there were a couple of like fluke type videos. Like I did a collab with another YouTuber, which was a big 3-hour live stream we did together. It was basically just us talking. Like that was really fun. Getting to stream with a close friend of mine, that was really fun. And I think when I actually got 25 subscribers is when, that realization just clicked in. It was just like, maybe I can do this. Maybe, people actually want to watch my content or want to watch me. So, I think that was kind of just the stepping stone of like, maybe if I keep pushing myself, if I keep going forward, maybe this will lead to something, greater ambitions. And I think for the most part, it's worked out pretty well. Um, I'm doing a whole lot of things with reviews and podcasts, even just like solo one-off type videos. And it's all really fun. It still is. Like I've still not lost my motivation to do them. Like I still want to keep going. So it's been a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. So my next question that I have kind of prepared are, what are some of your favorite videos that you've worked on, whether it be on the Let's Play channel, the podcast, reviews, whatever? What are some of your favorite videos, and what are some of your like least favorite videos, like videos that you aren't too big on nowadays, looking back?
As, as far as least favorites, I mean anything from 2016 to 2018, like because all I had was, a cheap microphone. I had a PlayStation 4. I didn't even have a computer at that time. So I was basically just like clawing my way to try and make videos. I remember when I did Arkham Knight, that was my first break into YouTube. That was my first big Let's Play. That whole thing took 75 parts just to get through in like 6 months. And that was kind of a train wreck. And I was like, okay, maybe I should not do it like that ever again. And so that, like, as much as I love that LP, I hate it at the same time. Um, as far as like videos that I love, like um the reviews have been a whole lot of fun. Like my Arkham Asylum review, the whole Arkham marathon is just like really fun to look back on. It's really cringy, but it's fun to kind of think
Cringy, I
back
made an
and
album cover for
see.
you.
Yeah, yeah, that was a highlight for sure. Um, because I couldn't edit anything by myself, so I made him do an album cover. And but that was really fun. All of my like the special reviews that I do, like just talking about stuff that isn't comic book related, uh Straw Humans, Mario, those are stuff that really means a lot to me. And those are definitely a motivator when it comes to doing more videos like it. So
Yeah, I saw that a lot of the
yeah.
reviews, like the special reviews or even just like normal reviews, typically do pretty well.
Yeah, the latest ones have been getting pretty good as far as views. Like the last one I put out, or the last couple have been like 200, 300 views, something like it's really good. So I'm glad people are actually watching it.
Yeah, what was like, what's the most amount of views that you've had ever on a video? I know you had like
Most
a
amount
Mortal
of
Kombat
views,
video on the Let's Play channel that got a lot.
yeah, yeah, I had a Mortal Kombat video. It was a rant because everybody was doing rants back in like 2017, something like, or like 2016, and it was for a skin in Mortal Kombat X or something, and it got like like almost 15K or something like that. Like a lot of people watched it. And so I think that was probably the most views I've ever had on any video. And I mean, I mentioned, the stuff recently and the reviews have been doing pretty well, but I don't think I'll ever, or at least not yet, like I'll ever get back to that high of just like 15K views. And yeah, so that was pretty wild. Never expected that to blow up as much as it
I mean,
did.
it's like how I am with like the DC Universe Online video. That could be the worst video that could have got like 70K.
Mhm.
It was
Yeah.
yeah. All right. So the next question I really wanted to ask was what kind of inspired you to make a reviews channel separate from the Let's Play channel? Like what wanted you to make the two separate channels in particular?
So that was mainly born from being tired of doing LPs because I did LPs for 4 years straight never really tried to do anything too different. Maybe a movie review like every once in a while, but it wasn't really like a normal movie. It was just me playing Arkham City with like the year one skin, talking about like the year one movie. It was like very haphazardly put together. So when I got tired of doing LPs, I'm like, okay, maybe I'll try something different. And because I love reviews, I love reviews ever since I was a kid. And there have been so many creators over the last over a decade doing such amazing content. I was like, okay, maybe I'll try something like that. And at the start of 2020, I'm like, okay, putting my foot down, trying this thing, and hopefully it actually pans out. And yeah, it took a lot of months of just kind of prepping everything, but um, seeing that video go out, it was kind of special, because it was just like I never really made anything of that scale as far as editing wise. So it was a lot of fun to do, and a lot of fun to just kind of put out for the world to see.
Oh yeah. All right. So next up on my like list of questions that I have, what because you are someone who's you've been on plenty of podcasts. You of course you're hosting Speaking Nerd, like we
Yeah.
all are, and you've been on plenty of podcasts before. So you have a lot of experience with podcasts. So how do you feel about people considering the podcast market nowadays being oversaturated? Like, what do you think of the oversaturation of podcasts nowadays?
um I mean, I could definitely see where they're coming from with that. There definitely are lots of new podcasts coming out. I mean, even celebrities are just kind of getting together. Like I just saw recently, they're doing
John Krasinski.
like they're doing a Ned's Declassified podcast.
Really?
Which, yeah, I was just
Ooh,
like, yeah,
Ned's
it's
Declassified?
the main trio coming back doing a
Really?
podcast, and
I
like,
didn't. I didn't think they.
Well, he's
I
been
didn't.
so out of it
I
this
didn't
whole
know they were
episode.
doing things.
he's so drugged up he doesn't realize what's going on.
Just he came back. He's like, bro,
Um,
Ned's a classified, bro.
Yeah. But yeah, stuff like that where it's just like if you're having fun doing it, then I don't care. Like if it's fun to watch and I can actually enjoy what I'm seeing, then
Yeah. Plus,
whatever.
you're asking this question on a podcast.
Yeah, it's
Sure.
like a new one.
And
Like
one
this is episode 5.
in
Yeah.
one of 3 podcasts that I'm on.
And one of
Yeah.
2 that I'm on.
How ironic.
Totally not
I mean,
oversaturated. Totally
like
not
not.
oversaturated.
I mean, it's a very hit or miss kind of thing. So there have been some successes, some crash and burned. And like I said, if you like doing it, then do it. I mean, I have fun doing it. It gets a little tiring after a while just doing video week to week, and thank
Plus,
God
if
we're not
people-
doing it live. But
Plus, if people like podcasts, then there's
Yeah.
really no harm in it.
yeah, and I mean, it's also a thing where it's just like
I feel like you gotta
podcasting's
like
not
the
for
person who
everyone.
does the podcast enough to, be able to sit
True.
through 2 hours of them talking.
Yeah, because if you just watch somebody you hate, and then it's just exhausting. It sounds tiring. And I mean, it's not for everyone. I've talked to various people for like guest spots and that kind of thing, and they weren't all too interested. Like they weren't comfortable doing that. And it's just like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I could see that. So, um, do what you do.
Yeah, that's pretty valid. So the next question I want to have, I don't have that many left, so I think we can do it all in this one Zoom meeting. We can fit 5
How
minutes
many
in.
questions do you have, you man?
Bro, I was prepared.
We're supposed to ask questions at some point.
At least somebody prepared.
Listen,
Jeez.
this first half is gonna be my questions. All right. So when it comes to my next question, what are some of your like weirdest experiences with subscribers or fans of your content that you've had online or even like other places, if that's even happened?
Bro's looking for something scandalous.
I just want to know what the weirdest thing happened. All right, I'm interested. Spill the tea, sister.
I mean, like I've had some weird comments come in over the years. One of which I remember was when we started up the Speaking Nerd, and it was me and AJ. We were doing some episode about, I forget what the topic was. I think it was some canceled projects or whatnot. And then we just got this giant comment talking about how wrong we were about some character, like weakness wise. And like I didn't even respond because it's just like, how do you respond to something like that?
Yeah.
That's a valid L plus ratio comment.
Yeah. You get your like you get your hate comments every once in a while. I had somebody, talk about my weight, and I was just like, yeah, okay, have a good day. Like just kind of brush off. I never
Yeah.
try to get like too offended by comments. Like
Because
I
like
see like
if you have the capacity to say something like that online, you clearly don't have a life.
yeah. Yeah, it's just whatever. So I wish part of me wishes I got more weird comments like often. Like every like you get some like bot accounts or
Send
whatnot,
him
or
thirsty comments, please.
I had those comments that were coming around where it's just like, oh, click the link and you'll win some prize from, like, I had one trying to impersonate me, but they didn't have the right profile picture or name. So it just
What was the
it
profile
just didn't
picture and
work.
name?
I forget it was like I forget the name, but it was a picture of um like some model or whatever, and they were like the comment was trying to be me, being like, oh, you'll get a prize if you click this link, or you'll get some cash or whatever, just for clicking. Like, it's just,
You're not a
they
model?
made their intentions clear, but I forget. I think I probably deleted that comment. So
That's where you always got to screenshot it and then delete it. All right.
Yeah.
Trying my hardest to fit all these questions into this 3 minutes. You can answer however you want. Like, I don't care if you take forever to answer, but like, I'm just trying to ask them all quickly. So my fault if I start talking fast, but
yeah.
So my next question. This is a question that I told you about before, and it's a very important question that I feel like a lot of us need to know. Mr. Marvel DC fan, how do you get hoes?
Yes. Just keep texting them on Snapchat. That's been my go-to lately, and somehow it just kind of works out.
We're leaving that in. That's going in. We're clipping that. We're putting that on the reviews channel and just calling it Marvel Gets Hose. All right. That was just kind of like a joke question, but my next question actually is have there any been have there like do people IRL that you know, whether it be friends, family, what have you, do any of them know about your YouTube career, and if so, what are their thoughts on it?
I've had some friends in real life that I've told, I've told my parents, and they were just kind of like, okay, if you like doing it, then keep doing it. They're very kind of blasé about it. Especially like even my friends, like I'll tell them, they'll ask me, it's like, oh, what have you been up to lately? It's like, oh, just working on videos and stuff. And they're like, okay, cool. So it's just that kind of thing where it's like they know that it exists, but they don't give a shit. So,
That's how I wish a
can't
lot
blame
more
them.
people were when it came to like content and stuff. It's like actually treat it like it's just a hobby or a job instead of just making it a
Yeah.
weird thing.
I feel like if I got like 1 million subscribers or something, I'd be like, oh, you're making a video this week, huh? Or it's like, what are you working on now?
Well, yeah.
Okay,
Whenever
now you're interested.
you get
Yeah,
you get interested
if you
whenever
don't
I'm
want
getting
me at my
paid.
lowest,
Yeah, no.
you can't have me at my highest.
I'm making money now. Now you're interested in what I do.
Yeah. All right, we're back. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. That was a pretty long commercial break, and I'm sorry about that.
Splash this water all over your dick.
Go ahead. What?
Oh well.
I'm putting him on mute. Ezra Miller's doing some wild stuff to Josh, to Swifty. So we're gonna go back and we're gonna finish up my last two questions, and we're gonna get into AJ's questions for Marvel. So
Yes.
let's get into this one. All right, so Do I want to ask this one, or do I want to skip this and just go to my last question? Should I do it? You don't know what the question is. You have to answer it though.
Do it.
All right. What are some of your oh, dude, I can't figure out like how to word this question. It's weird. I don't have like a question written down. I just have ask him about this.
Mhm.
I probably should have just wrote the question, which is bad on me, but the question I wanted to ask, or how I think I wanted to word it to ask you, whatever. So what are some big beefs / disagreements that you've had with other content creators, and how has that affected you as a content creator?
Ooh. Oh, man. I mean, I've definitely had my fair share over the last couple years for sure. And I mean, I don't want to give any names because I don't want them to, start a whole fucking shitstorm. But I mean, one that you and I knew well on somebody else's Discord, he was kind of a whiny bitch. You can see where I'm going with this. Yeah, I don't know, he did things that were just kind of unforgivable, and he talked big and all this other stuff, but he never did anything. So, and yeah, I think that one was probably like a big one for sure. And yeah, some others I just kind of had some falling outs with, and yeah.
But in terms of like as a content creator, how have they like affected you as a content creator though? Like have they like since then have you worked differently? Have you approached collaborations differently? Like those are just some examples. Like how have they really
Not
affected you?
not you know what, there hasn't been much of an effect, if I'm being truly honest. Like there was nothing that really like set in that I needed to change much in my head, even because I was still doing, I mean, when the falling outs were happening, like I was still LPing stuff, I was still
So it's
working
like
on
waves on the
reviews, and
beach kind of thing.
yeah, it was just like, we said our things off camera, or some things did spill onto the internet, which are probably gone now, but
I remember some of those
I just kind of,
live streams.
yeah, but I just kind of moved on with my life. I decided to be the bigger person and just live my life as I saw it. So I just kept doing what I normally did, which was what I'm doing now. So yeah, not much effect, if I'm being truly honest.
Just go crazy, just absolutely not.
I mean, yeah, fuck them, but if I say names, then they're gonna use they're gonna
I mean,
try and use
I didn't expect
whatever.
you to say names. I was
So,
expecting you just to tiptoe around the question. I was actually not expecting you to answer.
yeah,
But
yeah.
all right. So my final question. Now this goes back to a much simpler time. This is late 2018, early 2019. Mr. Marvel DC fan, did you hate me at this time? Were you not a fan of Alter Brap?
Oh, for gaming.
Here's the thing.
That was his name at the time. He's an OG. He knows.
Before gaming. Yeah, I know. Here's the thing. There were people who wanted me to hate you, but I never did.
Let's go.
Yeah, there were people for sure.
I will ask you about that
you know
later.
who I'm talking about.
Marvel,
you know
Marvel
who I'm
was
talking about,
the
where
champion.
they
Marvel
tried to
champion.
talk me into being like, oh, he's not right for you, or like he's not really there as a friend or whatnot. And I was just like, whatever. It's it's my channel, it's my Discord, whatever. So if I still want him on here, I'll keep him on here.
Yeah.
But no, I never hated you or whatnot during that time. So
No,
But now that's a different story.
yeah, nowadays.
yeah, no, I hate his guts.
Nowadays, I realize they were
It's
correct.
a
No.
I wonder why I'm even on here.
Yeah, actually, just leave the. Bro, that would have been crazy if you just left. Yeah, so that's all I got really to I just kind of had those
Okay.
questions that I feel like I wanted to ask. Some good stuff, some heavy hitters in here. So I appreciate you coming out and answering my questions. Now, AJ, Josh, do any of you have any questions you want to ask Marvel while he's
Okay,
on?
so my first question sounded less aggressive in my head, but okay, here goes. Why do you think you are the way you are?
What?
Now,
Why are you gay?
what do you mean by that?
Just like what made you into the person you are now? It sounded less aggressive in my head.
Okay.
Who are you?
that was a that was a weird question, but um I mean, like all of us, comic books are really a big a big contributing factor. Video games, anything nerd type, like anything nerd centric, I was most likely into. Um, except for D&D, that kind of thing was never really my taste. But like comic books for sure kind of helped mold me into the person I am now. And even though I don't really read much newer comic books right off the stands because it's kind of a hassle, but I still like the stories that they're doing to some extent. Some some creative teams just don't work that well together. But yeah.
Yes, thank you for answering that.
Yeah.
It sounded better in my head.
I know. You said it, and I'm like, am I supposed to take offense to that, or?
Okay, next question. What is your favorite movie and why?
Favorite? Oh my god.
Like I want to elaborative.
Batman and Robin.
That's you say that because that was probably one of the earliest movies I remember watching, um like Spider-Man 2002, Batman and Robin, Small Soldiers. Like I've watched a lot of weird shit as a
Oh,
kid.
you watched Small Soldiers as a kid too?
Yes.
I love Small Soldiers.
I had it on a VHS tape.
Yeah,
when that was still a thing.
Well, I grew up on VHS too.
Yeah.
I watched that quite often.
One of my favorites.
Are we ignoring what the?
Anyway, one of my favorites is the Iron Giant. I'm just gonna ignore that. I'm ignoring it. So
Ezra Miller's going crazy.
Okay. Could you please elaborate?
Oh boy.
Going back. He's going back.
Can you tell me what your favorite
Jesus.
That was realistic as shit. Oh, he's dead. He's gone.
No.
All right, continue.
So okay. Iron Giant was a favorite of mine. Like I watched it over and over and over again as a kid. And I just rediscovered it recently, and it still holds up like remarkably well. So if you've not seen it, or if there's anybody in the chat or whoever subscribed have not seen that movie, it is a mandatory watch in my eyes. So
it's one of the best animated American films ever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, it's the best Superman movie.
I'll take that. Yeah.
Watch it instead of Man of Steel, you nerds.
Yeah.
Nerds.
Yeah,
Who are you calling a nerd?
I agree.
All right.
Okay.
Any others?
Okay. I have a question. It's kind of three questions, but
Okay.
okay. So I want to hear your favorite DC superhero, favorite Marvel superhero, favorite independent comic superhero, and I want you to tell me why for each of them. So you're getting essay questions.
Yeah. Yeah, you're really trying to just make it hard for me. DC, Batman, like Marvel, Spider-Man, those two have always just kind of resonated with me ever since I was a toddler.
Glad.
Yeah, it's like when I think back on, being a kid, like those two is always just kind of there throughout all my life. Like the earliest I can remember, it was always, Spider-Man, like the whole early 2000s into 2010 was all, Spidey for me. And then I think once I started playing the Arkham games, like my teens was just Batman, like just bat everything. It was depressing. So
it was just Nine
yeah.
Inch Nails and Nirvana.
Yeah.
He was Robert Pattinson.
Nirvana. Yeah.
Evanescence.
I had the makeup and like the goth hair and everything.
Mascara.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so
I think yeah,
like,
I'm at a
off
point now
topic.
where people ask me like, what's your favorite superhero? And I'm like, I can't choose one. Like it's between those two for sure, but I can't like pick one over the other. As far as independent hero, um, I mean, he's from Dark. I'm gonna say Hellboy if that counts for the
Oh,
question.
it most definitely counts.
Okay.
Hellboy is killer.
Yeah.
I mean,
Hellboy or like Spawn would be like my
both
top
great
independent.
picks. I mean, I made a video about Spawn.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
But yeah, those are both great picks.
Yeah.
I love both those characters. Both have amazing artists and great stories.
Yeah.
Okay, next question. What video game got you in the game?
I think the well, like I have faint memories of playing the PlayStation 1, but I could never remember if we actually had it or not. Maybe I was like at a kiosk at like Walmart or something, or like, or you remember when you went into McDonald's and they'd have fucking N64s hooked up and TV screens right next to where the playpen were, like stuff like that. I think when we got our PlayStation 2 and they had Spider-Man 2 with it, I think that was when I really fell in love with video games. And, since then, I've been playing whatever piques my interest. I play whatever I can. And there's some stuff where like, I'm not as attached to, like RPGs. I don't really play much. It's something I want to get into, but I just don't really have much of a interest in a lot of the newer stuff. But yeah, I love video games, and I think the PlayStation 2 is what really got me hooked on it. So
okay, follow-up question. What, in your opinion, is the greatest video game of all time? Why is it Metroid Prime?
I mean, Metroid Prime is good. It is great. Don't get me wrong.
For political reasons, it is my
probably
favorite
like-
video game.
It's just insert just hit voiceover. It's like Metroid Prime is my favorite.
I'll put the text to speech Batman Arkham City is my favorite.
Yeah. I don't even know what I would classify as like one of my favorite games. I mean, I love Metroid, but I wouldn't. It's not like top 5 or anything for me. But yeah, that's a good question. I like that.
Okay. Next, I want to ask you, what do you think is the end game? Like, is there an end game for you as a content maker, or a goal, end game, what have you?
I thought you were going to say for life.
What do you want to do before you die? Answer that too. Answer that
My
too.
last my last breath is just like playing Arkham City. As far as like one of my big goals um is to get a play button. It's something that's just kind of been on the back of my mind ever since my previous channel. I hit like 250 subscribers, and I think that was it was another point where I realized like people actually watch my stuff.
It was like a wake up moment.
It was a wake up call, and I'm like it was already like maybe 4 or 5 years in where I'm just like, maybe I can do it, maybe I can push, get enough people to watch, and maybe at a time I can actually get a play button. I think once I do have it, then I know that all that hard work paid off for sure. And it's a matter whether or not I keep going afterwards will be the real question when I get there. But
He gets the trophy. He's like,
yeah,
all
I
right,
think
I'm
that's
out.
yeah, I'm done.
Okay.
I got my goal. Fuck YouTube. I'm out.
I'm going to Twitch.
Why do you do what you do?
Why do I do it? Because it's fun. Because I have fun doing it. Videos with you guys, just talking about video games or whatnot. It's just fun to do, and I like talking to other people who relate and have the same similar interests. Because that was always one of my things growing up, where I had friends, but they weren't like me. I mean, I liked some of the same stuff that I did, but it was kind of just hard to relate to other people in that way. But on the internet, tons of people are into the same interests, same things and whatnot, and it's a lot harder. It's a lot easier to relate. So I think whether it's doing the podcast or whatnot, or just like maybe a random video with Alter or AJ, Swifty, whatever, like it's just fun to do. It's fun to talk to people and all that. So
what is a video that you've always wanted to do but you haven't?
Video I was
Porn.
A video on Superman 64. That's something that is most likely to happen, but I'm nervous because what else do you say about Superman 64 that hasn't
Nervous
been said
because
already?
I'm scared of the game.
Yeah, it's like so many other people did it.
64 is the number of hours I put into it.
Yeah.
You're just gonna do a defense of Superman 64.
It's like I think Superman 64 is actually a good game.
Topic.
You guys are wrong.
Off topic, have you guys played the beta for the PS1 canceled port of Superman 64?
No, but I've seen footage on it, and it looks a hell of a lot better.
It's actually good. Like it's a decent from a gameplay point of view.
Yeah. There's no kryptonite fog. There's no.
It's like an actual on foot like superhero game with like cool mechanic. I mean, don't get me wrong.
It's something you can actually play.
Yeah, the gameplay is like really outdated because it's just like an old PS1 game, but like it still like has the fundamentals of like a decent superhero game. Even as kind of a generic, it still leaks better.
Yeah.
Go on.
What is your favorite comic book?
My favorite comic book. It's
All-Star Batman and Robin.
It's the first. No, it's funny, but no. It's the first story by JMS in Amazing Spider-Man. The volume is called like Coming Home or something like that, but it's the first time Morlun shows up, and he's not garbage in that book.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
That's a very good pick. That's a great
one. Yeah.
Okay. Next, I want to ask you, who has been your favorite person to work with on YouTube?
My favorite. Damn. That's a tough one. I've had a lot of fun with you guys just collaborating on stuff. we've done a bunch of solo vids, which were a lot of fun,
Say
talking
also, bro.
about just random shit like favorite Batmobiles or whatever. I think the videos I'm excited for haven't been made yet. And that's, I'm planning on doing reviews with all of you guys. And I think those are going to be super fun to do.
Okay. One last question, and then I can hand it off to Sophie. What is the peak of your YouTube career?
Peak of my YouTube career. Yeah, acting like I'm going out of business like tomorrow, shutting everything down.
Out of business.
I think the peak has honestly been this past year, because by then I kind of hit my stride. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew how to do it, and I made some really quality stuff in this last year. I mean, I did all the Marvel videos. I did Straw Humans, Mario, fucking AVGN. Yeah, I think that was when I really just that's my peak so far.
And okay, I actually have one mini follow-up to that.
Sure.
What is your version of like where you want to be?
In a mansion, bitches all around me, sitting by the pool.
You heard the song "I Got Bitches" by that song.
Yeah, that song is my main inspiration of where I want to be.
Actually, when he's editing, he just has it on in the background, full volume, just breaking his walls.
I mean, you're not wrong, but yeah.
His walls lined with sound bars playing that.
Get one of those big ass Best Buy speakers. All right, Josh, you want to add anything to this conversation?
Yeah, Josh, do you have any questions for me?
Well, Daddy Ezra will let you speak.
Are you going to shave? Are you going to shave soon, or are you growing the beard out? Because I'm doing the same. This is just a preview question. Because I'm growing mine out, and I'm thinking we'll be beard brothers.
Beard bros.
Yeah, beard bros, bro.
I'm not shaving it soon. I'm actually gonna try and let it grow out a little, mainly just like this stuff. Like I want to have my Kratos beard.
Yeah.
Just have it like so.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah. Maybe I'll shave my head too. Put the tattoos everywhere.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not shaving it right now.
So I had a question. I wasn't listening to any of these bozos questions because I don't really care. But so I don't know if they asked this, and correct me if they did, but what is your favorite podcast to do out of the ones you're doing right now, between Speaking Nerd, Intensive Treatment, and
he just wants you to say Intensive Treatment for his own ego.
There has to be
pretty
another
much.
No, I don't care.
I mean, I guess you could include AJ Tor since you showed up on it.
He's episode.
He's not on it though. Like I just mean like one he's a part of.
Oh, okay.
I think I mean, Speaking Nerd's a lot of fun. Especially when we have a good topic. When we have a good topic for us to delve into, like we're all passionate about, then I think that's when we're at our strongest. Intensive Treatment is fun because I love Arkham everything. So the fact that I can just unload all my feelings on that series.
Hey, whoa. We had the exact same response. That's crazy.
Just talking about Arkham is fun, and even the guest spots that I've done have been so really fun to do so far. AJ Tor, this podcast, Iron Ninjas, Crossover Nexus was a lot of fun to do. So I'm hoping more people call me up and be like, "Hey, I want you on my podcast," and be like, "Yeah,
I want you on my podcast."
So what's
about getting bitches?
What's your favorite? So for Speaking Nerd, obviously, Speaking Nerds more. There's a lot of freedom there to talk about kind of like whatever pop culture stuff we want.
Yeah.
Is there a specific? And I'm looking forward to a lot of the comic book movies coming out this year to talk about them on there. So, is there one in particular that you think we're going to have a field day with on the Speaking Nerd podcast out of all the comic book movies we're getting in 2023? The Flash will just be making fun of Ezra Miller the whole time.
Yeah, I was gonna say either the Flash or maybe Spider-Verse, because the Flash we're gonna have a field day with that one. Like it's just gonna be nonstop
but I mean, I guess
vitriol.
Spider-Verse is just gonna be awesome. Just talk about everything that happens in it.
Yeah, I think those two are probably like as far as movies go, are going to be really fun to go over.
Because they're at like both sides of the quality spectrum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now we just need one where it kind of meets in the middle there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be Cocaine Bear.
Cocaine Bear, definitely.
Yeah.
Porn Parodies Part 2.
Or Barbie.
Porn Parodies was such a fun episode to do.
That was an interesting one.
Yeah.
The fact you guys didn't have fun with that is crazy. Like I had a blast. It was.
I was laughing the whole time.
Yeah,
like,
there was not a single time. There was not a single second since he hit record on the OBS that I was not smiling.
Yeah. You know that. I mean, I had a lot more fun on that episode. I thought I would, because I was just like, okay, he's gonna host it. We're gonna go through all these, weird porn that he picked out, and then like. It's just like image after image. Like I just could not stop laughing, and even the ones I showed you guys, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like that was.
I told you it was a banger idea,
sure.
but you didn't listen to me, and that was the most viewed episode of the podcast. You're welcome.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was good.
Cool.
Yeah. What else you got?
Alter?
All right, so
I don't have anything else. I was just they kind of asked all the AJ particularly asked all the questions I was going to ask. He came at it. He asked
Damn it, AJ.
What was it? 45 questions you asked? Is that the amount?
All right. Well, before I end this, I got one more special question. I'm going to clip this and I'm going to send it to a specific person. So, Mr. Marvel DC fan,
yes.
So you're friends with a creator named Iron Ninja, correct?
Yes.
Oh, is this about the Batman Arkham remaster thing?
No. This is different.
Oh yeah, because by the way, you suck for that.
You can sit down.
That's a terrible take.
Go back to Ezra Miller, dog.
Banned from Twitter for that take.
Go back to Ezra Miller, dog. But what I'm trying to say is, what are your personal thoughts on him playing the Avengers game, like religiously?
Oh my God, that's a good question.
I
mean, hey man, if he wants to spend hundreds of dollars on nothing,
this is like asking Mike Dean his
thoughts
on. No, wait, this is not what I was expecting. This is not how this was supposed to go. I was expecting this to be like Mike Dean when he was asked about Kanye, where he's like, I do not associate with him anymore after his statements.
I mean, I don't care. He can rant about whatever new skin they're overpricing this next week. And I mean, I kind of encouraged him to buy one because they had that cell-shaded Captain America. And I'm like, I know you want it.
I think it's crazy. Ever since he did my video,
it's just peer pressuring. It's just like
you're the reason he's like this.
Idea.
You're just feeding his obsession.
Yeah, pretty much.
It was crazy because his part of my video was him talking about like, I don't want to play this game anymore. This game sucks. Please kill me. And then
still playing.
Yeah, it's been like almost 3 years, and this man he's grinding on this game. Pause. So yeah. Besides that, that's all I got. Anything else you guys want to add before you?
Marvel's probably like, thank God I can leave.
Yeah.
You
guys want to plug anything? Starting with Marvel.
Oh, actually, I have an idea.
Oh my God!
Why doesn't Marvel ask us a question?
All right, ask us each a question. We got 8 minutes.
Really?
Go. Do it. He already said it. Go.
I mean, okay. One question I think all of you can answer. Why you ain't got no bitches yet?
I'm pulling up Snapchat.
I don't. I don't need one.
Well, you see, I'm working on a career.
I need a
I'm
woman I
looking on the
can
ground.
marry. That's why.
There's my question.
I'm
Not-
looking on the
Scrolling through.
ground. you know?
Half of those were men.
Wow.
All right. So, with that out of the way, Marvel, would you like to plug anything on my podcast?
Yes.
No self promotion. Get out of here.
Shit.
No, go ahead.
I got my review channel. That's my main source of content, pumping out reviews, podcasts, live streams, and a whole bunch of other just one-off random stuff, for fun. I'm gonna try and do a whole lot for this next year. I'm gonna pump out as much as I can. So that's fun. The LP channel, just standard let's plays, maybe some live streams here and there in the future. We'll see. And then of course the Speaking Nerd podcast, the thing I'm probably most famous for. We got bangers like the porn episode and The Room, which I wasn't even on that episode, but still banger.
Dying
anyway.
Young.
Yeah, dying
Dying
young.
Young. Dying Young. And come check me out. Come subscribe.
I was only a good part of one of those episodes, so please check it out.
AJ's like, watch anything but the porn episode.
AJ was you could tell by his voice, he was very uncomfortable. He did not want to be there. But I was having a great time.
He barely spoke that whole video.
I did not contribute whatsoever.
Yeah, that's my plug.
So, AJ, anything you want to plug? And then we'll go Swifty and then me.
Drugs in general,
You're getting really into that.
Dude, he's been on Adderall this whole podcast.
Have you seen his thumbnails lately?
Yeah, those aren't thumbnails. That's what he sees. That's actually just what he sees.
You see, I'm just translating my vision, the AJ Howard vision.
Which is LSD infused mind bending mushrooms.
Mm-hmm. I mean, my opinion is that all of you should try it because it's the way to look.
I'm good.
That is, the best advice anyone could have ever given on my podcast. It is don't knock it till you try it. Amen, brother. This is the most based I think AJ's ever been in his entire. You should do drugs more often, dog. Swifty, would you like to plug anything besides yourself?
I just released a song, and that's it. You can check that out on my Spotify and Apple Music.
Dude,
YouTube.
you are. It's the most menacing.
We're sure AJ's the one on drugs.
I'm not on drugs.
He's not on
I can
drugs.
tell you that.
He's held captive. Like he's afraid to speak because there's like Ezra Miller's flash gun pointed at his head.
Ezra's just feeding him Adderall every day.
Ezra Miller just has him on every drug, like IVing into his bloodstream. That's terrible. Don't think about that. So yeah, I'm working on the podcast, working on videos. Got an EP coming out soon called Diamond in the Rough. Go check that out. I don't know why I say go check that out. It's not even out yet. Probably won't be out for a few months.
It'll be out soon.
It'll be out 2024 ish. I'm kidding. Like at least May. I think is when I'm trying to get that out. Don't quote me on that, but thank you guys so much for coming and check us out. Check out Marvel especially. He's been our great guest, and he killed it. And thank you guys so much for watching, and see ya. Someone say something racist so I can edit it out later.
That's your job.
AJ.